Now, example of qualitative study design: experience of second year nursing students during posting in neonatal intensive care unit in a government hospital of Kolkata, West Bengal. So, how can we do a qualitative study design? In an intensive care unit in a government hospital, there are few nursing students that have been posted. So, how they experience in their posting hours, that we are going to address. So, this experience is actually a quality phenomena. You cannot count the experience, but you can feel it. So, that quality will be coming under qualitative study design. Now, qualitative study design, we all know that are of two types: interactive and non-interactive. But interactive is again of few types. What? Ethnography, phenomenological, case study, grounded theory, critical studies. So, these are few forms of interactive studies. Whereas non-interactive qualitative study designs are of two types only: historical analysis and concept analysis. Okay. Now we'll see the subtypes of all these study designs. So first I will mention about experimental studies design. It is a systematic and scientific approach in which the researcher manipulates one or more independent variables and observes the effect on a dependent variable while controlling for extraneous variables. Now let me clear all these variables to you. First one is independent variable, then we have dependent variable, and then we have extraneous variable. So I have said that something is causing, that is independent variable. Causing what? The effect, that is dependent variable, and something which is not a part of it, extra, is extraneous variable. Just an example, I want to check the effect of age over the body weight. Okay, so age is the independent variable, body weight is the dependent variable. Now, my eating habits can differ. So that is not a part of my study. I have not included, but it can control the outcome of my study. That is extraneous variable. Now you got to understand. So let's discuss what is experimental study design now. So in experimental study design, what happens? From this one or more independent variables, a study can have different variables. So from this one or more independent variables, I can have effect over the dependent variable. So in experimental study design, a researcher can change the effect by manipulating the variable. So for example, I am changing the age. I will give different kinds of age population in my study, and then I will note a effect on the dependent variable, but I will have control on extraneous variables. Okay, so I will allow that my independent variables will change, and then effect of it on dependent variable will also have, but my extraneous variables will be under my control. This is experimental study design. The method allows for the establishment of cause and effect relationship between variables. So it's clear that between variables there is a cause and effect relationship. If one variable is changing, that will have direct influence over the other variable. So that is a method which is under experimental study design. Now what is non-experimental study design? So we are not experimenting. The name is self-explanatory. It is a research method that uses observations and measurements to study naturally occurring conditions. So I'm not doing anything. Whatever is happening, that is falling naturally. So what we are doing as a researcher, we are just observing and then we are measuring. Measuring what? Whatever that is happening under a condition which is very natural. So I will see what is the effect of one thing over the other, but I'm not experimenting anything. I will just observe, and I will also not manipulate. It is the type of research that lacks an independent variable. So in non-experimental study design, independent variables are actually not present, but there can be some rare conditions. So non-experimental study designs is not experimenting with anyone, is not having an independent variable, and is actually about observations and natural conditions. So this is all about non-experimental study design. Talking about interactive study design, in this method of research study, the participants answers the asked questions. So the name suggests interactive. That means I am interacting. So there will be some questions that will be asked and participants will answer. The participants also actively influence the direction of the study by choosing which follow-up questions they want to see based on their previous responses. So suppose I have few questions that has been asked by some researcher, I will give answer. Then I will have a follow-up after 1 month or after 1 week. Then I can check my previous response and I can change my response so that the study's direction will also change. It creates a personalized experience that adapts to participants' individuals' perspectives and experience. So it comes with a personalized experience. So interactive is all about self perspective and all about experience. Non-interactive study design is a research method where the researchers